Hi, Jamie. I wanted to comment on your post because I thought after reading it that it was, well thought out. You had a lot of steps. You integrated a lot of specifics in such a great synopsis, identifying, from the inventories all the way down to the teams, looking at like grade level that the participants would need to be into. You just were very concise yet specific in everything that you had for your research proposal, which I thought was, very amazing. And so in reading over it, I really liked that you picked out actual inventories that you would utilize, talking about the brief symptom inventory just to see the psychological beliefs and to see if there were actual mental illness within the congregation. So identifying, what those looked like, and then taking from that and utilizing to say, hey, okay, now that we've got this information, this is what we need to do. So some of the things that you said, in that were the materials like the brochures, flyers, pamphlets, and so forth, along with the supportive resources, and I thought that, and then facilitation as well of all of these things, which I thought was amazing to, it would be wonderful to have all of the resources. And then on top of that, you had put in there the cost of it being $20,000. And while all of that sounds amazing, after reading it, I wonder how feasible that would be within the congregation. In completing my post, I was thinking of my own church and how it is so little that that we're not this big member, this big church, or lots of members. It's more little smaller scale, and our church probably wouldn't have the funds of $20,000 just to go through to ensure that people are getting what they needed. So I was thinking about that in the basis of everybody's research proposals on kind of their population and where they're at and where their ideas are. So I kind of contrasted in saying that I would really put out just like an e-survey that was free, using like the monkey survey or whatever it is, and then or paper surveys that everybody could fill out, and then during the announcements times having the pastors come out to say, hey, this is something that we genuinely care about. We want to provide resources and referrals. We want to ensure that you're getting what you need, so how can I help? So in doing it that way and being more cost effective and using kind of your volunteers through church, we call them like our teams. So utilizing the teams that you have to implement some of that, some of those kind of what you were saying versus, having to pay someone to come in and do this. So I think it was very interesting to see how you went very large scale, while it was amazing information and definitely would be something that I would love to, read the research on. I was in contrast thinking of a much smaller kind of congregation and how that would be. So to see kind of where your head was at versus mine was, very insightful. It really does bring it back down to where the population that you're serving, where you're at, your geographic location and what that looks like. So I thought that was really cool, especially when we're studying these like high income versus these low and middle income countries and what their budgets may look like, what their resources may look like on how to ensure that these mental health needs are being addressed. And you can look at it from the same scale of these churches, of really big churches versus some of these smaller ones. So again, I thank you for your post. It was very insightful. Like I said, it was a great synopsis, and it really did provoke some more thought in me to kind of think of it on that really big global mental health scale, but in the parallel version of churches. So thank you, Jamie.